Good morning, 6:31 on this Friday. I'm Matt Malloy.
I'm Alexis Arnold. Chris is off today. We are following some breaking news right now. Sam Carter live at the scene of a crash on Lake Avenue in Rochester.
We're going to go right to Sam with the very latest on what he's seeing on scene there. Sam, what can you tell us?
Well, right now I can tell you this scene is much different than it was even 20 minutes ago. I'm going to step out and show you that Lake Ave is now fully back open, and the car that was on fire is now gone, taken away by a tow truck. There were multiple fire trucks and multiple police units. Even an ambulance was here. Those are all gone now. This scene is totally clear. Lake Avenue at Lexington Avenue is now back open and flowing freely. But what was happening was it was closed as a car caught fire at Lake Hair and Beauty Supply, causing not extensive, but pretty significant damage to the building. The road was closed for a number of hours. Again, that road is back open. We have reached out to police and fire for more details, and it appears that some have just come in now. This is just in about a minute ago. At about 5 a.m. this morning, a vehicle crashed, and the Rochester Fire Department found a male between the ages of 20 and 30 trapped inside of the burning vehicle. The male was extricated from the vehicle and transported to URMC with life-threatening injuries. Again, that is the latest news. That is from Rochester Police this hour. That is coming over the wires just a second ago. So once again, traffic is back open. A person did crash here on Lake Avenue. Their car did catch fire. They were pulled from that car, and right now they are at URMC with life-threatening injuries. If more details become available, we'll bring them to you.
Back to school plans, back to the drawing board. A month before reopening, school leaders learning the state will not provide reopening guidance.
This is frustrating for our school districts. It's frustrating for our parents, and it's frustrating for those of us in elected office.
Assemblyman Harry Bronson tonight went as far as to call the move by the governor and the health department today a dereliction of duty, adding they let down children. Good evening. I'm Jenny Ryan.
And I'm Dan Schrack in for Doug. Despite the shock by the news, local superintendents say it won't derail their plans to reopen 5 days a week. As Tyler Brown reports, though, it is, however, derailing a local mom's back-to-school plan. Tyler?
Stacia Dennis tells me she planned on her son returning to school in person this fall, but a lack of state health guidance is now forcing her to make a tough choice. Stacia Dennis is protective over her child's health and well-being. She says the COVID variants have made her even more anxious for new state school guidance.
I didn't send him to summer school this year. If there was a program, I didn't find one because I was scared. I don't want him to catch something.
But now that guidance isn't coming, leaving Dennis frustrated.
I feel like they let us down. Like, we're supposed to count on you to tell us what's safe, but you're not telling us what's safe for our health.
The news not only came as a surprise to parents, but also to schools and even the Department of Education. In a statement, Commissioner Betty Rosa says the health department should be offering reopening guidance to schools. The state's decision also drawing criticism from some state lawmakers.
They cannot say they are unable to issue guidelines because the state of emergency has ended. They issued guidelines to businesses just a few days ago with recommendations.
Criticism from Democrats, but the state's move is drawing praise from Republicans.
It allows them to make their own decision based upon the facts and figures here in our local areas. So it's a great thing. I'm sure that they're released, still going to follow CDC guidelines.
However, Dennis isn't convinced that CDC guidance will be enough. She plans on opting her child out of in-person learning.
It's not even worrying about, oh, is he going to bring it home and make mommy sick? No, it's a risk to his life.
Now for schools, planning in the next few weeks will not be easy. As one superintendent pointed out, each district will have to plan COVID guidance based on its own population, space, and resources.
The governor's pre-recorded video response to the attorney general's findings has been widely criticized for victim blaming and harmful for sexual harassment survivors in the workplace. 13 Web's Jane Chaco spoke to some experts who explain why his response reflects a toxic work environment in their eyes.
Doug, in his 14-minute video, Governor Cuomo repeatedly denied allegations of sexual harassment. Critics say he appeared to downplay the 11 women's experiences, something experts say comes right out of a typical harasser's handbook. On Tuesday, following the release of the Attorney General's report, Governor Cuomo was on the defense.
I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances. That is just not who I am.
Elias Farah is a member of the Sexual Harassment Working Group, made up of 8 former New York State Legislature staffers, all of whom say they experienced or reported sexual harassment while working for the state.
We've seen it so much in Albany and from so many different people that we're not really blown away.
Farah finds the governor's response contradictory since Governor Cuomo signed sexual harassment policies and in 2013 demanded former Assemblyman Vito Lopez to resign after he was accused of assaulting multiple young female staffers.
That's one of the things you see in almost every case of sexual harassment, where you not only downgrade their experience and say, it didn't happen this way, you didn't feel that way. They're essentially telling the victim what to feel. And then they do this thing where they flip it around and almost make themselves the victim.
Restore, a program of Planned Parenthood that provides services to those impacted by sexual assault, says the governor was victim blaming, something that could discourage other survivors from coming forward.
It is never a victim's fault to be victimized. Sexual assault is all about power and control being taken away from someone. And that's why at Restore, we really take on a person-centered approach where we empower survivors with options and information to help them take that power and control back. And
Restore provides services to survivors and their loved ones through their 24/7 hotline. We have a link to that on our website.